Products Foundation. The foundation is supported by donations from the Air Products and Chemicals Incorporated as a charitable organization whose contributions provide support for educational, cultural, health, and community programs in the Lehigh Valley.
Proud to support the finest in education and in public television, we are the people of Muhlenberg College.
From Hill Financial, involved in helping the communities we serve, bringing you the best right here on public television and Channel 39. Hill Financial Savings, helping you to a better life. The series is also made possible by Channel 39 School Services participating districts.
WLVT-TV presents Scholastic Scrimmage, a weekly program featuring teams from Lehigh Valley High Schools in a contest of quick recall. In this evening's championship contest, the teams are from Liberty High School and Freedom High School. Your host for Scholastic Scrimmage is Harry Price.
Good evening and welcome to Scholastic Scrimmage. This championship contest will meet the teams and the coaches, and then we'll begin the contest. From Liberty High School, Christopher Ware, a sophomore. Mason Webb, a senior. The captain is Jeffrey Hittinger, a senior. Jonathan Troutman, a freshman. And the coach is Joe Williams, teacher of mathematics. From Freedom High School, Hira Tarhan, who is a junior. The captain, Jagar Parikh, is a senior. Peter Stone, senior. Mark Hushman is a junior. And the coach is Eileen Bauer, teacher of history. I would like to bring recognition to two of our contestants. Jeffrey Hittinger is a National Merit semifinalist, and for Freedom, Peter Stone is a National Merit finalist. I congratulate both young men. Channel 39 is pleased to announce that at the conclusion of today's championship contest, the Air Products Foundation will present a $1,500 scholarship award to the championship high school and a $750 scholarship award to the runner-up high school. Both awards will be in the names of the Scholastic Scrimmage teams. Remember, the answers to the questions on Scholastic Scrimmage require rapid recall of factual information and aren't necessarily indicative of academic training. The rules for the contest are as follows. On toss-up questions, you'll be given 10 points for each correct answer, and 10 points will be deducted for an incorrect response. If you answer incorrectly, then the opposing team will have an opportunity to answer without penalty, and they'll receive 5 points for a correct answer in this situation. Of course, each correct answer to a toss-up question gives you the opportunity to answer a bonus question without penalty. Team members may confer only on the bonus questions, and the answers to these questions should be given to me by the two team captains, Jeffrey and Jagar. A buzzer will signal the end of the contest. If it sounds while a question is being asked, the game stops. If the buzzer goes off while you're answering, you will be permitted to complete your answer, but no bonus questions will be asked. Are we ready? Any questions? If none, we'll begin with our first toss-up. We're preparing for a 15-point bonus. Here's your toss-up. The following signers of the United States Constitution all represented what state? Jared Ingersoll, Robert Morris, George Clymer, Thomas Mifflin, James Wilson. That's Freedom, Peter.
Pennsylvania.
Correct, and I was going to read Benjamin Franklin. Your bonus, a 15-pointer, Jagar, for you and the team. New York City is built on 3 main islands. For 5 points apiece, name the 3 islands. Jagar?
Staten Island, Manhattan, and Long Island.
Correct on all 3 parts. You have your 15 points. Our next toss-up, preparing for a 10-point bonus. Classify the following declarative sentence. Whenever I feel afraid, I hold my head up high. Freedom, Peter.
Conditional.
Incorrect. Over to Liberty. It's a toss-up. And there's no response from Liberty. Again, I wanted to classify the sentence, the declarative sentence, whenever I feel afraid, I hold my head up high, as a complex sentence that contains one independent clause and one or more subordinate clauses. Another toss-up. Barney is intensely afraid of standing near a cliff. Sally absolutely hates to fly. Benny can't stand elevators. Gertrude hates open bodies of water. All of these psychological problems. Freedom, Peter.
Phobias.
Correct, are examples of what type of neurosis? And it is phobia. Any strong aversion or dislike. Here's your bonus, a 10-pointer for freedom. These trees can live for thousands of years. By studying the exposure of their roots, geologists can measure the amount the land has receded since the trees began to grow. What kind of pine trees are these?
Redwood, maybe? If I could guess.
Cigar.
Sequoia?
Not sequoia. I'm looking for bristlecone pine. Bristlecones. Some species are probably the oldest living things on Earth. Your toss-up, looking again at a 10-point bonus. And you might want to use paper and pencil. You might not need it. If Mike has been at bat 200 times this season and has a batting average of .25 or 250, how many hits did he get? Freedom, Peter.
50.
Correct. And your bonus, a 10-pointer on the monitor. In the diagram, O is the center of the circle. What is the radian measure of angle O? Cigar.
Let's say 60. Pi 60?
No, that's incorrect. Again, I wanted the radian measure of angle O, and it would be 1.5 or 3/2 radians. Toss-up, looking for a 15-point bonus. Which words, based on Isaiah 2:4, make up the motto of the United Nations? No response from either team. We shall beat our swords into plowshares. And another toss-up. Her real name was Aldonza Lorenzo, but Don Quixote called her what? Freedom, Mark.
Dulcinea.
Correct. And your bonus, a 10-pointer. It perched on the bust of Pallas Athena. With what one word did this bird answer the questions of a bereaved lover?
Nevermore.
Cigar.
Nevermore.
Correct. From Poe's famous poem. Going for a 10-point bonus, toss-up. The instant at which the sun crosses the celestial meridian of a given point on the Earth is called solar what? Liberty, Jonathan.
Solstice?
Incorrect. Over to freedom. Hira.
Noon.
Noon? That is correct. It's solar noon and solar time. Your bonus, a 10-pointer. You got 5 on the rebound. Bonus for freedom. All of the following are classes or subdivisions of what heterotroph? Oomycetes, ascomycetes, zygomycetes, and basidiomycetes.
Coniferous. Basidios. Come on. Say something. Coniferous.
Cigar.
Coniferous?
No, it's the fungi. Looking for fungi. Going for a 10-point bonus on the monitor. I want you to evaluate that expression. -1 squared plus a -1 cubed plus a -2 squared plus a -2 cubed. Freedom, Mark.
-4.
Correct, Mark. Bonus. And again, you might want to use paper and pencil for it. 11 times a number is increased by 10, and the result is 14 times the original number less 5. The number is what? I'm sorry, Jagar, you missed it. I saw Mark's lips. I think he had the right answer, and it was 5 is the correct answer. Here's your toss-up, going for a 10-point bonus. What do we call the period of European history between the fall of the Roman Empire? Freedom, Hira.
The Dark Ages.
Incorrect. I'm going to read it in its entirety for liberty. What do we call the period of European history between the fall of the Roman Empire and the Renaissance? Mason.
The Middle Ages.
Correct, or the medieval period I would have accepted. Your bonus, a 10-pointer. At several places in the world, narrow waterways connect two large bodies of water. I'll name pairs of bodies of water. For 5 points each, you name the narrow connecting waterways. First one, the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans near the southernmost point of South America. Jeffrey.
Straits of Magellan.
Correct, the Strait of Magellan. The next one, the Sea of Marmara and the Black Sea near Istanbul. Jeffrey?
Dardanelles.
Incorrect. It's the Bosporus. The Dardanelles actually connect the Marmara with the Aegean Sea. Going for a 10-point bonus. Toss up. All of the following are examples of what category of poetry? The Spanish Cid. The Liberty, Christopher.
Epic.
Epic, and I was going to have a few more, but you had the correct answer. That is an epic. You have a correct answer. Here's your bonus, a 10-pointer, Jeffrey, for you and the team. Quote the first two lines of the Longfellow poem about a man who took a ride to warn people about an impending crisis. Jeffrey.
Listen, children, and you will hear of the midnight ride of Paul Revere.
The judges accept that. That's Paul Revere's Ride by Longfellow. Here's your toss-up, going for a 15-pointer. What is the number and case of the second pronoun in the following passage? She made me angry when she left me for her North Pole trip. Again, I wanted number and case of the second pronoun, which was me, and first person, objective case. Toss-up on the monitor. Working under a commission for Congress in 1840, the American sculptor Horatio Greenough completed a colossal marble statue in which a famous American, Freedom, Peter.
George Washington.
Correct, in which a famous American is represented seated and semi-nude in the pose of the Greek god Zeus. Today, this statue is housed at the Smithsonian Institution. I wanted you to identify or name the famous American in that, who's portrayed in that statue, and it is Washington. Your bonus, a 10-pointer for Freedom. Soprano and mezzo-soprano are two of the three major classifications of the female voice. What's the third?
Alto.
Chigar?
Alto.
We'll accept that. Contralto, alto, synonymous. Here's your toss-up, going for a 10-point bonus. It took 1,700 years for this number to double since the year 1 A.D. Then it doubled again in 200 years, and doubled again. Freedom, Jigar.
The population?
Incorrect. The judges will accept. Then it doubled again in 200 years and double again in the next 100 years. The present doubling time is, we're going to go with the Freedom answer. The present doubling time is 35 years. And these statistics refer to what, and it's the population of man, and the judges decided to accept that. The human brain is for Freedom. The human brain and spinal cord are covered by three protective membranes. The dura mater, the arachnoid layer, and the pia mater. For 10 points, what's the standard one-word collective term for these three membranes?
Mother. What? Meninges. The meninges? Yeah, mother.
Jigar?
Meninges?
Correct. Looking at a 10-point bonus. Again, you might want to use paper and pencil. 1,400 people were polled. 1,400 people were polled. In this group, 25% were against capital punishment, while 68% favored it. In number, how many undecided people were there in this group? Freedom, Peter.
98.
Correct, Peter. Again, a bonus on the monitor. What is the inverse function of x if f of x is equal to 2x plus 3?
Oh, I know how to do this way. It's x minus 3 over 2. Yes.
Jigar.
X minus 3 over 2.
Correct. Going for a 15-pointer. Toss-up. Name the geographically largest nation which borders upon the English Channel. Liberty, Mason.
France.
Correct. No contest with any other nation. Here's your bonus, a 15-pointer. For 5 points apiece, Jeffrey and team, name 3 of the 5 original tribes that compose the Iroquois Confederacy, known as the Five Nations. Jeffrey.
Iroquois, Seneca, and no response.
Okay, I'll give you 5 points for Seneca. I've already indicated the Iroquois Confederacy. What I was looking for was Mohawks, Oneidas, Senecas you gave me, Cayugas, and Onondagas. 5 out of a possible 15 for Liberty. Toss up. The name for this group is the Latin word for table, since it was conceived as a round table society. This organization, open to anybody with an IQ in the upper 2%, Freedom, Jigar,
Mensa.
is called Mensa. Bonus 10-pointer for Freedom. An announcement of some coming calamity or the imminent fulfillment of some doom may be expressed as a 4-word allusion to the writing on Belshazzar's palace announcing the loss of his kingdom. What are those 4 words?
Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Jigar.
The Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
No, not the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. It's handwriting on the wall. Here's your toss-up. Looking at a 10-point bonus. The white part of the egg that contains nourishing protein is called what? That's Freedom. Peter.
The yolk.
Incorrect. Christopher, your light's on.
Albumin.
Albumin is correct. 5 on the rebound for Liberty. Bonus. I want a 4-letter word here. Regarding a lens, the shorter the focal length, the greater the field of what? Jeffrey.
Line.
Incorrect. It would be the greater the field of view. V-I-E-W. Going for a 15-pointer. Toss up. For what real numbers, and this is on the monitor, for what real numbers is that expression the square root? That's Freedom, Peter.
X is greater than or equal to 1/2.
Correct. For what real numbers is that expression real? And Peter gave it to us. Here's your bonus for Freedom. The number 365 means only one thing to me, and that's the number of days in a year. For 5 points each, I want to know whether these figures ring a bell for you. Here's the first one. 1.6.
That's familiar. What is it? Avocado. No, it's not. Avocado. No, try something.
Jigar?
Try Avogadro.
Avogadro's number.
Incorrect. It's not Avogadro's number. It's the number of kilometers in a mile. Second one. 1,728.
Think of something.
Jigar?
The number of meters in a mile?
No, it's not the number of meters in a mile. It's the number of cubic inches in a cubic foot. I think the number of yards in a mile is 1760, so that's close. Third one. 3, 4, 5.
Just bring in.
Nope. Sorry, Jigar, a little slow on the buzzer. It's the ratio, again, 3, 4, 5 is the ratio of sides in a right triangle. It's a Pythagorean triple. Toss-up 10-pointer. Consider the order of presidential succession. Who is 4th in line to assume the presidency upon Freedom, Peter?
The President pro tempore of the Senate.
Incorrect. I'll read it for Liberty. Consider the order of presidential succession. Who is 4th in line to assume the presidency upon the death of a president? Christopher?
Secretary of Defense.
Incorrect. We're looking for the Secretary of State. Once again, if the president dies, it goes on. The 4th in line after that would be the Secretary of State. Going for a 10-pointer. Toss up. How is the infinitive used in the following sentence? To commit adultery is not in the best... It's Liberty Mason.
Noun.
Correct. To commit adultery is not in the best interest of a televangelist. And it is a noun. Probably shouldn't have read that. Here's your bonus, a 10-pointer for Liberty. For 5 points apiece, identify each of the following prominent existentialist thinkers. The Danish philosopher and Protestant theologian who developed a Christian existentialism for such works as Fear and Trembling.
Who's the leader of the Quakers? Who's the leader of the Quakers? Of what? Quakers.
Jeffrey?
No response.
It's Søren Kierkegaard. The second, the German philosopher and author of Thus Spake Zarathustra and Beyond Good and Evil. Jeffrey?
Nietzsche.
I'll accept that. It's Friedrich Wilhelm Nietzsche, also a precursor of existentialism. Here's your toss-up going for a 10-point bonus. Dr. Jonas Salk, the inventor of a vaccine that helped control polio, announced last week that Liberty Mason...
An AIDS vaccine.
Correct, that a new vaccine he has developed shows promise of helping people afflicted with what disease, and we do accept that, AIDS. Bonus 10-pointer for Liberty. This past week also, the Speaker of the Iranian Parliament has positioned himself to bid for Iran's leadership with the death of Ayatollah Khomeini. For 10 points, name the Speaker.
Rafsanjani.
Jeffrey?
Rafsanjani.
Hashemi Rafsanjani is correct. Toss-up going for a 10-pointer. He was the Thane of Lochaber and a general in the King's army. Name this character slain by order of Macbeth because the witches... Liberty Mason.
Macduff.
Incorrect. Over to Freedom. No conferring, it's a toss-up. He was the Thane of Lochaber and a general in the King's army. Name this character slain by order of Macbeth because the witches had foretold that his descendants would reign over Scotland. Peter.
Banquo.
Correct. 5 on the rebound, your bonus a 10-pointer. Spell the heteronym that as a verb means to shine and as an adjective refers to a Northern European country. Jigar?
Finland? F-I-N-L-A-N-D?
No, it's not Finland. It is P-O-L-I-S-H. To shine, polish, and as an adjective refers to a Northern European country, of course, Polish. Toss-up going for a 10-point bonus. It's on the monitor. The Bayeux tapestry being shown on your monitor depicts the invasion of England by forces led by whom? Freedom, Peter.
William the Conqueror.
Correct. Your bonus, a 10-pointer again for Freedom. Name the slight fluctuation of pitch used especially by singers and by players of bowed string instruments to make the tone more expressive. Jigar.
Treble?
Not treble. It's vibrato. Another toss-up. How many atoms of hydrogen are there in 5 molecules of ammonia? Liberty, Jonathan.
15.
Correct, Jonathan. It's 5 times NH3, 5 nitrogen, 15 hydrogen. Bonus 10-pointer. Name the medical specialty that deals with the diagnosis and treatment of disorders of glands such as the following: the parathyroid glands, the adrenal glands, the thymus, and the pituitary gland. Jeffrey?
Endocrinology.
Correct. They're all endocrine glands. Again, you might want paper and pencil. The sum of 3 numbers is a -2. Find the largest of these numbers if they are represented as follows. One is x, another is x minus 4, and the third one is 3x plus 7. Liberty Mason.
-1.
Incorrect. Peter.
1.
That is also incorrect. Again, I wanted the largest of the numbers, and after doing your computation, the largest would be 4. I think it's a -1, a -5, and 4. Toss up. In what nation do we find cabinet positions such as the following: Prime Minister, Lord President of the Council, Lord Privy Seal, and Chancellor of the Exchequer? Liberty, Jonathan.
Great Britain.
Correct, Jonathan. Bonus 10-pointer. He raped a girl from Phoenix. He was identified in a lineup. He wrote out a complete confession. He was convicted, but in 1966, the Supreme Court set him free because he had not been informed of his rights. Who was he?
Miranda.
Jeffrey.
Miranda.
Correct. Ernesto Miranda in Miranda versus the state of Arizona. Toss up, looking at a 10-point bonus. What mistake is apparent in the following sentence? The senator was playing with fire when discussing the discrimination issue and got in over his head. Liberty, Mason.
A dangling participle?
Judges, dangling participle was given. Judges have ruled incorrect. It's over to Freedom. Jigar.
Misplaced modifier.
Not a misplaced modifier. That's what we call a mixed metaphor. The senator was playing with fire, and he got in over his head. Okay, we're going to take a halftime break now with the score at half, 135 for Freedom and 85 for Liberty. During our championship halftimes, we have a participant from each of the schools narrate a videotape describing activities at the respective schools, and we're going to begin with Jeffrey Hittinger, the captain of Liberty High School, giving us information about Liberty. Jeffrey?
Liberty High School building was completed in 1922 and was designated to serve as a war memorial commemorating the valor of Bethlehem men during World War I. Therefore, the name Liberty High School was adopted. During the period between 1955 to 1970, additions were made to the school. Today, Liberty is a complex of 4 buildings exhibiting a unique blend of classic and modern architecture. The school enrollment is approximately 1,900, grades 9 through 12, with a teaching staff of 113, 5 guidance counselors, and an administrative staff of a principal and 2 assistant principals. Liberty is steeped in rich tradition and has been the recipient of numerous awards in the area of academics, for theater arts, for athletics, for musical achievements. Excellent physical facilities give students the opportunity to demonstrate great school spirit during pep rallies, and the opportunity to acquire and develop physical skill. A large, modern library allows students to engage in careful research and study. Here also is a reading laboratory and a computer writing laboratory. Classrooms are spacious and lend themselves to an atmosphere for individual and group work. The mathematics program provides challenging experiences in courses ranging from basic math to upper-level math, including calculus. In the area of fine arts, Liberty prides itself in having an up-to-date photography laboratory. Excellent opportunities to study biological and physical science courses are provided through well-qualified instructors and fine facilities. Liberty, being a comprehensive high school, makes a conscientious effort to meet the needs of students interested in vocational skills in well-equipped woodworking shops. Through its dedicated guidance staff, Liberty provides students the opportunity to meet in groups and individually discuss their future plans and careers. Liberty High School is committed to developing programs in computers, special education, and bilingual education. It is also committed to upholding fine citizenship and quality education in general.
Thanks, Jeffrey. Let's go over to Jigar Parikh, the captain of Freedom, who'll tell us about Freedom.
Freedom High School is one of 2 senior high schools in the Bethlehem area school district. In response to an influx of population, Freedom High School was opened in 1967. Freedom is a 4-year high school under the leadership of our principal, Richard J., and his 2 assistants, Vincent Seaman and Anthony Villani. Freedom has a fine library equipped to deal with a varied curricula of college prep, technical, general, business, vocational, and special education. Freedom houses such things as a daycare center, a competition swimming pool, and a writing center for the students equipped with computers that have been funded by the district and a grant from the Pennsylvania Higher Educational Assistance Act. Freedom is also unique in that it has a full-scale planetarium manned by a teacher who hosts scores of children from this district who want to learn the excitement of the stars in space. Over 250 courses are offered at Freedom, from advanced placement courses in American history, calculus, chemistry, physics, and English, for all 4 years to typing and printing. One of Freedom High School's fortes is its music department, led by Ronald Demke. and Jan Mack, The music department at Freedom High School provides students with diverse interests and abilities in music, challenging course and offerings, and performance opportunities. 250 students have taken advantage of choral opportunities, which include two mixed choruses, a women's choir, and a select group limited to 20 singers called the Les Chanteurs, who recently were invited to join the competition in Quebec, Canada. This year's Freedom's Auditorium hosted a performance of Free to Be You and Me, a collaboration between the music department and Joseph Schoss from the drama department. Student talent was exhibited not only on the stage, the advanced theory students also arranged the score and performed the instrumental music. Ron Demke's award-winning Freedom Patriot Marching Band has been invited to every major bowl in the country. Particularly memorable were their trips to the Aloha Bowl in Hawaii and their 3 trips to California, highlighted by last year's invitation to the 100th anniversary of the Rose Bowl. Freedom students thrilled at playing in the magical land of Disney. In addition to helping Ron Demke with the band and orchestra, John Schwartz of the music department heads a fine jazz band at Freedom High School. Like the Les Chanteurs, the jazz band performs not only for the school, but also out in the community. Students at Freedom High School participate in many sports programs. Freedom has been particularly successful in its swimming and diving, soccer, gymnastics, girls and boys volleyball, and girls basketball programs, which are always in competition for district and occasional state championships. Not only Freedom known for its competitive spirit on the field, but she is also extremely successful in her academic competitions. This year, Freedom High School has 3 National Merit finalists and 8 students receiving National Merit Letters of Commendation. This past year, Freedom captured awards in every category at the Regional History Day held at Lehigh Valley Community College. Many of our students went to Penn State for the Penn State competition. Linda Moore and Ryer Mahan created quite a fan following their portrait of Walt Disney's life seen through the eyes of Tweedledum and Tweedledee. The Biology Olympics team led by Daniel Kunkel has been very successful, winning not only team but individual awards as well. By far, the most successful team at Freedom High School is the Nancy Eckert's math team. The math team headed by Peter Stone, also in the Scholastic Scrimmage team, has won numerous awards, regional and state. A visit to Mrs. Eckert's classroom shows a myriad of awards decorating her room. Freedom High School is proud to serve the Bethlehem area community by providing students with a diverse education that will enable them to make a positive contribution to America's future.
Thank you, Jigar. Again, the score at halftime is 135 for Freedom and 85 for Liberty. Still a very close contest. We're going to begin the second half with the toss-up, and we're looking at a 10-point bonus. Toss-up. Name the protozoan that has all of the following characteristics: a contractile vacuole, a nucleus, ectoplasm, cell membrane, and pseudopodia. Freedom, Mark.
Paramecium.
Paramecium was given incorrect. Over to Liberty. Christopher, your light's on.
Amoeba.
Amoeba is correct. And your bonus. You got 5 on the rebound, 10 was taken away from Freedom, and this is a 10-point bonus, Jeffrey. The production of this protein is induced by viral infection. It does not save the infected cell, but protects neighboring cells against viruses. It also may be useful in treating cancer. I want you to name the protein. Jeffrey.
Interferon.
Correct. Mathematics, and it will be on the monitor. In rectangular coordinates, x squared plus y squared is equal to 9 defines a circle. What is its equation in polar coordinates? Its equation in polar coordinates is just r is equal to 3. The radius of the circle is 3. It has to be centered at the origin. Here's your toss-up. Going for a 10-pointer. What is a French name for the middle class as used by Karl Marx? Freedom, Jigar.
Bourgeoisie.
Correct. And your bonus, a 10-pointer. The Germans proposed, by way of a coded message, an agreement with Mexico in 1917. The Mexicans were to attack the United States, and in return, the Germans would help them recover Texas and Arizona and New Mexico. This message was associated with and named after the German Foreign Secretary, naming
Zimmerman.
Jigar.
Zimmerman.
Arthur Zimmerman, and it was known as the Zimmerman Note, and you were correct. Here's your toss-up. Give me the 7-letter term beginning with the letter A that refers to the halo or ring of light surrounding a figure or object, especially freedom, Hira.
Aurora?
Aurora was given. Judges, no, we're not going to accept that.
What did you say again?
Aurora. Incorrect. Over to Liberty. I'll read it in its entirety. Give me the 7-letter term beginning with the letter A that refers to the halo or ring of light surrounding a figure or object, especially in a religious painting. It's known, and Hira, you're very close, aureole. It's A-U-R-E-O-L-E, aureole. Here's your toss-up. The Earth is about 7,920 miles in diameter, and it has 360 degrees of longitude. How many degrees of longitude would the Earth have if it were 3 times larger? Liberty, Jonathan.
360.
Sure, it'd be the same. It would still be a sphere. There would be no change in the number of degrees, longitude or latitude. Here's your bonus, a 10-pointer. When there's a little water pressure within a leaf, these cells shrink and close the stomata. When there is much water pressure in a leaf, they swell and open the stomata. What are these specialized cells called? Jeffrey?
Pores.
Not pores, they're guard cells. Another toss-up on the monitor. I want you to simplify that expression. It's x minus the quantity x squared minus x all over x minus 1 plus 3. Freedom, Peter.
3.
3 is correct, Peter. Your bonus, a 10-pointer for Freedom. In each of the following pairs, 5 points apiece, select the geometric figure with the greater area. The first one, a regular hexagon of side 2 centimeters, or a right triangle with legs of 4 centimeters and 5 centimeters. Jigar?
The hexagon.
You are correct. The next one, a circle inscribed in a square of side 2 centimeters, or a circle circumscribed about a square of side 2 centimeters.
Circumscribed about it.
Jigar?
The circumscribed circle.
Exactly. Circle circumscribed about the square is correct. Toss-up going for a 10-pointer. He fought in the Trojan War on the side of the Greeks and slew the Trojan hero Hector. He was the son of Peleus and Thetis. Freedom, Peter.
Achilles.
I wanted you to name the warrior. You have it, and here's your bonus, a 10-pointer. How are the following men collectively known in 1919? David Lloyd George, Vittorio Orlando, Georges Clemenceau, Woodrow Wilson.
The 4 men at the Versailles Treaty. The Big Four. The Big Four. That's right. Go.
Jigar.
The Big Four.
They were the principal participants in the peace conference at Versailles in 1919, known as the Big Four. Your toss-up going for a 10-pointer. During what century did these gentlemen accomplish much literary or artistic activity? First, John Trumbull, Francis Hopkinson, Liberty Mason.
The 18th.
18th. Trumbull was a painter. His works record many of the events of the nation's founding. Hopkinson signed the Declaration of Independence. Philip Freneau, I was going to mention, poet of the American Revolution. And finally, Thomas Paine. You are correct. 10-point bonus for Liberty. The hectic pace of business mergers and corporate takeovers in recent years has added some new jargon to our language. For 10 points, give me the 2-word term based on medieval adventure stories for a friendly bidder sought out by a company to outbid a hostile company that has made a tender offer for its control. Jeffrey?
White Knight.
White Knight. Listen to that freshman. He knows what he's doing. White Knight is correct. Going for a 10-point bonus. Toss-up. What 7-letter term refers to the dry weight of living organic matter in an ecosystem within a designated surface area? Liberty, Jonathan.
Biomass.
Correct, Jonathan. And your bonus, a 10-pointer. What characteristic of an antenna beginning with the letter B as in boy specifies the frequency range that the antenna is designed to receive or transmit? The buzzer went off, Jeffrey. It's bandwidth. B-A-N-D-W-I-D-T-H. Toss-up going for a 10-pointer. Today, and again, paper and pencil probably on this might help you. The day began at 5 degrees below zero. Then it rose 14 degrees and dropped off 6 degrees. Finally, it rose to the high of the day by going up 21 degrees. What was the high for the day? Liberty, Mason.
26 degrees.
Incorrect. Freedom, Peter.
24 degrees.
You are correct, Peter. You've got 5 on the rebound. Look at the monitor, and we have a monitor question. Given the lengths of the sides of the triangle ABC as shown, and the fact that AD is an angle bisector there, I wanted you to tell me how long is BD? Chigar?
3.
3 is correct. Toss-up, going for a 10-pointer. In 1894, Captain Alfred Dreyfus was convicted of spying on behalf of what nation? Freedom, Peter.
Germany.
Correct. He was a French member of the French Army, and he was convicted of spying for Germany against France. He was later, the conviction was reversed many years later, the Dreyfus affair. Here's your bonus, a 10-pointer. And you must get both answers to this one. Complete the names of the C's missing in the following line of Winston Churchill's Iron Curtain speech. From Stettin in the blank to Trieste in the blank, an Iron Curtain is descended across the continent.
It's Baltic, and I think they black.
Chigar, and I'll read the question, and you fill in the blanks as I read. From Stettin in the blank.
Baltic.
To Trieste in the blank.
The black.
An Iron Curtain is descended across the continent. I was given Baltic for the first blank. That is correct. To Trieste in the Adriatic, not the black.
Don't worry.
Toss up. Going for a 10-pointer. The word next, N-E-X-T, is a superlative form of what adverb? Next is a superlative form of near, N-E-A-R. Another toss-up. Going for a 10-pointer. What adjective do hardcore biologists use to describe locomotion on 2 legs? Liberty, Jonathan.
Bipedal.
Correct, Jonathan. And your bonus, a 10-pointer. All of these sources of energy for Liberty are classified as what type of fuels? Kerogen, lignite, coal, shale oil, natural gas, and petroleum.
Fossil fuel.
You are correct, Jeffrey. Going for a 10-pointer again. Toss up. A room 8 feet by 15 feet appears on an architect's plan as 2 inches by 3 3/4 inches. Therefore, the architect is using a scale in which 1 foot is represented by what? Freedom, Peter.
1/4 inch.
Correct, Peter. And your bonus on the monitor. You're given that the quantity x minus 2 times the quantity x plus 3 is less than 0. Which one of the following is the solution set? This is a multiple choice. The first one, x is less than a negative 3 or x is greater than 2. Next, x is equal to a negative 3 and x is equal to 2. The third, a negative 3 is less than x is less than 2. Or the fourth, a negative 3 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 2.
C, I think. C.
Chigar?
C.
C, the third one I gave you was a negative 3 is less than x is less than 2. Here's your toss-up, going for a 10-point bonus. The line corresponding to 10 degrees east longitude passes through how many continents? Liberty, Mason.
3.
Correct, Mason. And your bonus, a 10-pointer, Jeffrey. For 5 points each, identify the following concerning Finland. First, the 3 countries on which Finland borders.
Union, Sweden, and Norway.
Jeffrey.
Soviet Union, Sweden, and Norway.
Correct. The sea whose two arms are the Gulf of Finland and the Gulf of Bothnia.
Baltic.
Jeffrey.
The Baltic Sea.
You are correct. You have your 10. Another 10-point bonus. Toss up. And please clear Jeffrey's screen here. There. Toss up. Name either of the two major arteries which run approximately parallel with the esophagus. There are the carotids. Another toss-up on the monitor. What is the value of B in that equation? It's 0.15B plus 7 is equal to 0.5B. Liberty, Jonathan.
70.
Incorrect. Peter.
Negative 13.
No. What is the value of B in that equation? It's 20. B is equal to 20. Another toss-up. Listen carefully. At 7 a.m. on July 11th, 1804, in Weehawken, New Jersey, he said to his opponent, "I beg your pardon for delaying you, but the direction of the light sometimes renders glasses necessary." To whom was Alexander Hamilton? Freedom, Hira. To whom was he speaking? It was Burr. He killed Burr, or I'm sorry, Burr killed him in a duel that day. Here's your bonus, a 10-pointer. The Treaty of Versailles deprived Germany of its overseas colonies, which were turned over to the League of Nations. For each of the former colonies, the League assigned administrative responsibility, but not ownership, to one of the member nations in the League. For 10 points, what official name, beginning with the letter M, what official name was given to those territories?
Mandates, that's right.
That's right.
Jigar?
Mandates.
Correct. Going for a 10-point bonus. Toss up. Name the tropic which passes through Chile and Brazil. Freedom, Peter.
Tropic of Capricorn.
Correct. And Cancer is Mexico and the Caribbean. Here's your bonus, a 10-pointer. And again, you might want to use paper and pencil. I'm fairly sure you will on this one. The United States was at war with what nation in the year, and listen carefully, M as in mother, D as in dog, C, 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 X, I, I.
England.
Jigar.
England.
England or Great Britain, it's the War of 1812. Another toss-up, going for a 10-pointer. Heavier American involvement in what war was precipitated by incidents involving these two American ships? The Turner Joy, Freedom, Peter.
Vietnam.
Vietnam, and I was also going to mention the Maddox. Bonus, a 10-pointer. On what gulf is the northern coast of Vietnam located?
Gulf of Tonkin.
Jigar?
Gulf of Tonkin.
The Gulf of Tonkin. It's the northernmost part of Tonkin is the northernmost part of Vietnam. Going for a 10-point bonus. Toss up. William Lloyd Garrison called the American Constitution an agreement with hell because the document sanctioned what practice? Freedom, Peter.
Slavery.
Slavery is correct. Bonus 10-pointer for Freedom. For 5 points apiece, what ruler is usually identified with the Golden Age of France?
Louis XIV. Yeah, that's right.
14th.
Jigar.
Louis the 14th.
Correct. Francis Sun King. The next one, the Golden Age of Israel.
David. Go ahead.
Jigar?
David.
No, it would be Solomon, the third and final king of Israel. You got one out of the two for 5 points. Toss up. The root in the words mundanely and mundane. Freedom, Mark.
Earth.
Incorrect. They'll not accept. Liberty, Mason.
The world.
World, it does mean, I was going to say means what, and it does mean world. Earth, not quite the right meaning there. Bonus, a 10-pointer. This character from Dickens' David Copperfield was always developing bubble schemes sure to lead to fortune, but they always ended in grief. He failed in everything in England and then headed for Australia. His name was Mr. Wilkins what? Jeffrey?
No response.
It would be Wilkins Micawber. Another toss-up. He had his wife, Octavia, murdered to please his mistress. Outstanding contest. The final score is Freedom 285 and Liberty 165. I'm now going to turn it over to Sheldon P. Siegel, the president and general manager of WLVT-TV, for the recognition of our guests and the presentation of the awards. Shell.
Okay, thank you, Harry. And as we conclude our 14th season of Scholastic Scrimmage here on Channel 39, it's my pleasure to welcome in Joe Williams. Joe is the fine coach at Liberty High School. Those of you that have followed this game over the years know that Liberty has won 4 championships up to now, and they've been second several times. A remarkable achievement indeed during all of this time. We want to thank you and your wonderful team for a great job.
Thank you, Shell, and congratulations to Freedom Team. They were terrific. I'm very proud of our fellows, but this is one of the best teams I've ever seen. Thank you.
Thank you. Eileen Bauer, of course, is the coach of the splendid Freedom High School team, and this is the second championship that your team has won. A remarkable job indeed. We'd like to give you the gold videotape reel, and I know you have some acknowledgments you'd like to make.
Thank you. I'd just like to acknowledge that, yes, this team is one of the best. They have practiced not only with me in school, but they have gone to somebody's home somewhere along the line. I don't know whose parents have footed the bill for sodas and whatever, but I thank you because they certainly have learned, not just having natural knowledge. They have learned and they have been a team as much as a football team or baseball team or whatever other team has practiced. They have practiced, and I commend them and I thank them for all the joy they've given me this semester and first semester as well. Thanks, guys.
I'd now like to ask Pam Handwerk, who is Manager of Community Relations and Corporate Philanthropy for Air Products and Chemicals, to make another special presentation on behalf of one of our underwriters. Pam?
Thank you, Shel. It's a real pleasure for us to, again, sponsor this year's championship and throughout the season. Both teams were terrific. You may not have made it this time, Liberty, but I know, Jonathan, if you're going to continue on the team, I think we're going to hear from you guys again. Congratulations to you both. At Air Products, we stress quality, and today was absolutely a quality performance. I'd like to invite Mr. Anthony Ruggiero up, please. And with our best compliments, please accept this check for $750 as runner-up in this competition. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and I also would like to congratulate both teams. It really was an exciting contest, and I know both teams have practiced well, and I also commend their coaches as well. And Channel 39 is also to be congratulated. Thank you.
Thanks. We often think of the rivalry between Freedom and Liberty as occurring on the football field, but today we saw it here in person on TV. And I'd like to invite Mr. Richard J. up to accept the first place check for $1,500, and congratulations to your team too. Wonderful, wonderful competition.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Again, I would like to congratulate both teams. It's a great thing to have the final with the Bethlehem Area School District with the Freedom High School and Liberty High School. I remember that the first one I was a coach, and unfortunately Liberty High School defeated me. But I'm happy today that our team defeated Liberty High School. You've done a great job, both teams. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Shel.
I would now like to invite forward a very proud superintendent, Tom DeLucio. It's not often that the superintendent of schools really can't play favorites. It's like the Army-Navy game. You didn't know what side to sit on during this. But I know you have some special words to say on behalf of the school district, because it really is indeed. This is the first time we've ever had Bethlehem and Liberty together, one school district, and it's a great accomplishment.
Well, thank you, Shel, and I would like to thank and commend Channel 39, Air Products, for again sponsoring this outstanding series. Over the years, it's been truly a delight to participate and to watch from the homes the celebration of academic excellence within the Lehigh Valley. Obviously, we in Bethlehem were overjoyed at the outcome of this year's competition, having both our fine high schools in the finalists category was truly an honor and a privilege to our community. I'd like to congratulate both principals, their faculties, their team advisors, and last but not least, you've done us proud, young men, and we truly appreciate you bringing all this honor and this excitement to our community. Congratulations for a job well done. Thank you, Shell.
Our special thanks this year to the 3 underwriters who made Scholastic Scrimmage possible this season. Of course, to Air Products and Chemicals and the Air Products Foundation for being such an important part of making this a very special competition. To Muhlenberg College, Dr. John Messerly and the fine family of people at Muhlenberg as underwriters of our series, along with the fine people at Hill Financial, all of whom contributed, along with participating districts, in making this series possible this season. We would like to thank you all for being with us, and before we do conclude, our appreciation here at Channel 39 to Frank Tobias, Director of School Services for Channel 39, for another great job as executive producer of the series. And years ago, many more years than perhaps many of you want to remember, there was a great quiz master on the old Quiz Kids named Joe Kelly. He was great on radio, but we by far have the best on television. And Harry Price, thank you for another marvelous job as our quiz master this season.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Shell, very much. Again, congratulations to the both teams. They were outstanding, and we appreciate all the young men and women who participated with us this year. 2 more thanks. One to Richard Redd, a member of the art department at Lehigh University, for providing the art visuals and questions, and another to David Eddy, a colleague of mine at the Hill School in Pottstown, for providing many of the math questions. We'd like to have you tune in again next year. With that, I'm going to say good night, and thank you for being with us.
Funding for Scholastic Scrimmage is provided in part from Air Products Foundation. The foundation is supported by donations from Air Products and Chemicals Incorporated as a charitable organization whose contributions provide support for educational, cultural, health, and community programs in the Lehigh Valley.
Proud to support the finest in education and in public television, we are the people of Muhlenberg College.
From Hill Financial, involved in helping the communities we serve, bringing you the best right here on public television and Channel 39. Hill Financial Savings, helping you to a better life. The series is also made possible by Channel 39 School Services participating districts.